Taichung farmer detained over ASF record fraud. Man killed by trains in Chiayi. Ex-Taekwondo athlete loses Taiwan residency. Trump says China's Xi gave assurances over Taiwan. World awaits landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision on Trump's tariffs. Lithuania closes border with Belarus. Disney pulls channels from YouTube TV. Solid gold toilet to be auctioned at Sotheby's.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's Tuesday, November 4th, Election Day, and here are your top stories. In local news, an African swine fever outbreak hit Taichung's Uchi district. Investigations found inconsistencies in rendering records, and a farmer allegedly uploaded old waste photos to the system. Prosecutors summoned the farmer and his son, plus 2 drivers, and later secured detention for the farmer and son, while the drivers were released. A fatal accident occurred between Shuisang and Nanjing stations in Chiayi County yesterday when a man in his 50s entered the tracks for unknown reasons. He was struck by an express train and thrown under a commuter train on the opposite track, dying instantly. Police are investigating his identity and the cause of the incident. Taiwan's National Immigration Agency has revoked the household registration of about 50 citizens found to have registered or obtained passports in China. Among them is former Taekwondo athlete Li Dongxian, seen wearing a Taiwan uniform while holding China's national flag. Authorities said investigations will continue based on reports and verified evidence. And in global news, President Donald Trump says that Chinese President Xi Jinping has given him assurances that Beijing would take no action toward its long-stated goal of unifying Taiwan with mainland China while the Republican leader is in office. Trump said that the long contentious issue of Taiwan did not come up in his talks with Xi on Thursday in South Korea that largely focused on U.S.-China trade tensions. But the U.S. leader expressed certainty that China would not take action on Taiwan while he is in office.
U.S. officials have long been concerned about the possibility of China using military force against Taiwan. The 1979 Taiwan Relations Act, which has governed U.S. relations with the island, does not require the U.S. to step in militarily if China invades, but makes it American policy to ensure that Taiwan has the resources to defend itself and to prevent any unilateral change of status by Beijing. Asked if he would order U.S. forces to defend Taiwan if China attacked, Trump demurred. The United States, both Republican and Democratic administrations, has maintained a policy of strategic ambiguity on Taiwan, trying not to tip their hands on whether the U.S. would come to the island's aid in such a scenario.
The Trump administration heads to the U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday, facing off against small businesses and a group of states who contend most of the tariffs it has put in place are illegal and should be struck down. If the court agrees with them, Trump's trade strategy would be upended, including the sweeping global tariffs he first announced in April. The government would also likely have to refund some of the billions of dollars it has collected through the tariffs, which are taxes on imports.
The final decision from the justices will come after what could be months of poring over the arguments and discussing the merits of the case. Eventually, they will hold a vote. Trump has described the fight in epic terms, warning that a loss would tie his hands in trade negotiations and imperil national security. On Sunday, the president said he will not attend the hearing in person, as he did not want to cause a distraction. Trump has said that if he does not win the case, the U.S. will be weakened and in a financial mess for many years to come. The stakes feel just as high for many businesses in the U.S. and abroad, which have been paying the price while getting whipped about by fast-changing policies.
Lithuania has closed its border with Belarus following constant violations of its airspace at a time when European nations are on high alert for intrusions into their skies. According to the country's prime minister, dozens of helium balloons have entered Lithuania's airspace from Belarus over recent days. She said on Monday, autocrats are once again testing the resilience of the EU and NATO to hybrid threats, calling for a united, resolute response to the airspace violations.
At a press conference, Ruginin said that her country's armed forces would take all necessary measures to shoot down balloons. In response to the border closure, Belarus's foreign ministry said it had handed Lithuania a note of protest over the move. Earlier this month, dozens of small hot air balloons entered Lithuanian airspace, some carrying smuggled cigarettes. Although it was unclear where the balloons originated, Darius Buda, a senior advisor at Lithuania's National Crisis Management Center, told the Associated Press that Belarusian smugglers are increasingly using balloons to smuggle cigarettes into the EU.
Subscribers to YouTube TV have lost access to ESPN, ABC, and other Disney channels as the two companies struggled to negotiate a licensing deal. Disney said the online paid TV platform, owned by tech giant Google and available only in the US, had refused to pay fair rates for its content, which also includes National Geographic and the Disney Channel. In its own statement, YouTube TV said Disney's proposed terms disadvantage our members while benefiting Disney's own live TV products.
After tense negotiations, the channels vanished from YouTube TV just before midnight on Thursday, the deadline to reach a new deal. The blackout affects roughly 10 million subscribers. If Disney channels remain suspended for an extended period of time, YouTube TV said it would offer subscribers a $20 credit. Their standoff follows similarly contentious talks earlier this year between YouTube and other media companies, which also threatened to limit the shows available to YouTube TV subscribers. Google struck a last-minute deal with Comcast-owned NBC Universal earlier this month to keep shows like Sunday Night Football on YouTube TV.
It might be the most famous or infamous toilet in the world, the 220-pound, 18-karat solid gold throne by artist Mauricio Ketlin, which drew some 100,000 visitors when it was first exhibited in the bathroom of New York's Guggenheim Museum in 2016. 3 years later, thieves armed with sledgehammers stole it in an audacious 5-minute heist from Blenheim Palace. Although the perpetrators were convicted earlier this year, the fully functional opulent toilet, titled America, was never found, believed to have been cut up or melted down for its gold, worth millions.
But that isn't the end of the saga for the satirical sculpture, which was once offered to President Donald Trump during his first term in lieu of a Van Gogh painting requested by his administration, a counteroffer that was reportedly ignored. Catalan has said he made more than one edition of America, and now a second edition is making an unexpected, flashy debut on the art market next month. Sotheby's in New York will sell the work, which has been in private, anonymous hands since 2017. The sculpture will also return to public view for a limited time, when the auction house installs it in the fourth-floor bathroom of its new headquarters for 10 days leading up to the sale.
The answer for yesterday was B, tension. Political tension between the two countries has been rising. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Trump says China Xi gave assurances over Taiwan. Number 1, assurance, 保证担保. The company gave assurances that the product is safe to use. Number 2, unilateral, 单方面的，片面的. The country took unilateral action without consulting its allies. Number 3, ambiguity, 含糊不清. The politician's statement was full of ambiguity, leaving everyone confused. Next, we have a multiple-choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. Election Day in the USA has a rich history. Early elections did not have a set date, and different states held elections on various days. In 1845, Congress decided on a uniform date. They chose the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, chosen for the convenience of farmers, falling after the harvest but before harsh winter weather. Over time, Election Day became a symbol of democracy. Citizens gained more rights to vote, such as women in 1920 and African Americans in the 1960s. And that's all for today's FUNDAY News. Be sure to tune in to FUNDAY News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.